The Florida housing market is collapsing. Right now I'm in Boca Bridges in West Boca, and West Boca home prices are on the downtick, big time. We've got Delray Beach on the downtick. We've got West Boynton Beach on the downtick. We've got many surrounding markets which are very similar in terms of product, in terms of lifestyle. GL is the premier builder in this area, and they create unbelievable homes which are set up specifically for families to come in, max out South Florida living to the fullest and thrive, but the prices are going to blow your mind. So we're going to cover that next, but if you're thinking about buying or selling or relocating to Florida, please subscribe, give me a call, reach out, and we will connect with you right away. But let's get into the numbers, because the numbers don't lie. People do, the numbers don't. And if the math isn't mathing, then it doesn't make sense. Now, to be abundantly clear, I am not here to scare you, I am here to prepare you. And the reality is, right now, the markets have shifted in a radical way that most people simply aren't talking about. And I know there are a lot of doomsdayers out there that are going to tell you about half-price homes, fire sales everywhere, and that is true in some markets. But when people talk to me about the Florida real estate market or the Florida housing market, I have no idea what they're talking about, because Florida is a massive state. It is exceptionally long, and the reality is there are thousands of micro markets that exist with a completely different level of supply and demand across the state, right? So what may be true in one market is completely untrue in another. But I'm in Boca Bridges today. This is one of the premier GL communities out in West Boynton Beach. Excuse me, I say Boynton Beach. It's not Boynton Beach, it's Boca Raton. But in Boca Raton, and I've been working with some clients that are looking for properties similar to this in other GL communities that are literally right next door. So you've got 7 Bridges, you've got Boca Bridges, you've got The Bridges, you've got Lotus, you've got Lotus Palm, you've got Lotus Edge, and then you've got all types of different Valencias that are 55 plus luxury communities that are all GL communities that are close to each other. The reality is the demand and the intensity for demand in those markets has absolutely shifted, right? So buyers are able to negotiate much better deals, but fire sale prices are simply a pipe dream. Now I got to walk away from these landscapers or they're going to blow out my audio. But I wanted to tell us the truth, because listen, I can make clickbait titles, I can scare the crap out of you with a thumbnail, but I'm sick and tired of the absolute fake news, fake content that's out there simply to drive monetization. And I remain committed to telling you the truth so that you can make the best decisions for yourself, for your family, and for your financial bottom line. But clients I'm working with right now, they're local, right? And their family's growing, so they need more space. They have money. They are absolutely more than qualified to do whatever they want and buy whatever they want, but they don't want to overpay for a home. And I certainly don't want anybody to overpay for anything. So I enjoy the negotiation aspect, and in today's market, you can negotiate much more aggressively, but it requires the right people, the right lender, the right speed, the right tactic. And with this particular home, to give you some perspective, it was listed for 300, take that back, 300, I wish. If you can get a home anywhere in any GL community for 300, you've just hit a massive home run and hit the lottery. But they started 63 days ago and listed this property at $2.55 million, right? The market rejected that price. And unlike other markets where there is a lot more financial distress, this market, I've said for years, is a little bit more insulated because the people that live in it tend to be a little bit more affluent. So that's not to say there aren't people who are fake rich, that are overextended, that are feeling financial stress and pain, but by and large, from a macro perspective, I would say most people who live in these areas are relatively wealthy. And this seller is no different. They don't need to sell. They bought the home 2 years ago for $2 million, And here 2 years later, they're trying to cap out their, or max out their profit to the best of their ability. They tried 2.5, which again, overpriced, didn't work. They tried to rent it for $17,000 a month, didn't work. Well, they came to Jesus, they decided they wanted to break even, and now they're at 2.1, right? Well, 6 contracts, we beat all of them. Shout out to Ryan Brandenberger at Cross Country Mortgage, because he allowed us to position the contract in a way which made it seem like it was a cash deal, offering a seller guarantee of $25,000 if he did not close, and our offer was accepted. But that being said, at 2.1, great. What does that really mean? 2.1, $100,000 premium to where it was purchased 2 years ago, but the comps, the 3 homes which are the exact same model that sold within the last 2 months, are anywhere from 2.1, 2.2, and 2.3, which means my clients are walking into up to $300,000 in instant equity. So win-win. Now, we looked at other properties in the Bridges, and they almost wrote a contract on a property that was listed at 1.8, and they loved that home too. However, they instantly would have been negative equity $400,000, because that's how overpriced the property was relative to the most recent sale of the exact same model. And somebody bought it. They didn't care. They paid list price. And I believe that has a lot to do with the fact that Mondami is going to create an exodus of massive proportion in the greater New York area, in the Northeast. I've said on this channel before that I would always remain committed to sharing the truth so that you can make the best decisions for yourself and your family and your financial bottom line. I remain committed to that mission. The phone has not rang the way it used to through YouTube for a long time. Now, part of that was I wasn't making as much content. I had to deal with some personal issues, but I got through that. And the phone is now ringing off the hook again. And it's from people who refuse to be taxed at an insane level, who refuse to be punished for being entrepreneurial, for being job creators, for adding to the economy. They refuse to be in line for government cheese at a government-owned store. They refuse to live that type of life. And I suspect if they wanted to live that type of life, they'd probably go move to Cuba, which is not too far away. But I don't suspect that's very likely. And if they do end up in Cuba, I hope they say hello to Fidel for me, because everybody knows a good Cuban cigar is worth its weight in gold, which, by the way, is on the uptick. So that being said, if you or anybody you know is even thinking about buying or selling real estate here in South Florida, please reach out, 561-516-2442. Chris Igoe. We'll find your dream home, dream lifestyle, negotiate the best deal humanly possible so that you can go out there, max out South Florida living, and win the day. And that's all I want for you, my friends. I'll be back with more content soon. See you on my next video. Oh, please like and subscribe, share with a friend. Peace.